In this microeconomic series 4, I'll be discussing on demand. As told you earlier in the microeconomics series 2 and 3 regarding the demand, this is in continuation with those series. In this series, I'll be discussing about the factors affecting elasticity of demand. We have already discussed as what is elasticity of demand, and once again I'll just tell you that the law of demand only tells the direction of change in demand, while the elasticity of demand tells the rate of change in demand. The law of demand only states if the price increases, demand decreases, if the price decreases, demand increases. But it does not tell how much it brings changes in that demand. This is measured in elasticity of demand. We are knowing that there are three types of elasticity of demand: price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, and cross elasticity of demand. We have discussed much about the types of price elasticity of demand. In this session, I'll just repeat once again to just revive your memory that there are 5 types of elasticity of demand: perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand, relatively elastic demand, relatively inelastic demand, and unitary elastic demand. The concept of elastic demand and inelastic demand has already been discussed in the previous series, that when a price change brings a lot of change in demand, it is called elastic demand. When a price change does not bring much changes in demand, it is called inelastic demand. So we all know now about the types of elasticity of demand, the different 5 types, their numerical value, their description. In the previous series, I have discussed it elaborately. In this series, I'll be discussing on the factors affecting elasticity of demand. When we say elastic demand and inelastic demand, on what basis we do classify any product as elastic or inelastic? First of all, necessities. The necessity items, they are hardly affected by the price change. They are not going to change demand even if the price increases, or they are not going to fluctuate their demand if the price decreases. So they don't bring much changes in demand due to change in price because they are essential items. They are very essential, like medicines, salt, and people who prefer tea, because your preference also matters a lot. As in necessity items, some people cannot survive without tea. So for them, the price hardly matters. And that is why when the price change, demand is not as much changing as the price, or it is not responding to the price change. The demand is fixed for the necessity goods. Luxury goods have got an elastic demand because we all know we wait for a sale, we wait for a discount when we are going to purchase a luxury goods. Especially in the Dhanteras, they give heavy discounts, or in many off season also they give discounts. So generally the middle class consumer, for them the luxury items are having a elastic demand. When the price decreases, people plan to purchase at that very moment of time. So when the price decreases, demand increases to a greater extent. That means it is having elastic demand. Those goods have got substitute goods, have elastic demand, because we know when if the price of, suppose the example of soap is given, if the price of Lux falls, relatively to little, people are going to purchase the Lux because there is not much difference between Lux and Lily. So the consumer will move on to the another soap. So a resistive good or substitute goods have an elastic demand. Goods which are put for several uses have also got an elastic demand because they are demanded from various sectors. Suppose if I take the example of milk, milk is used in many products, either in curd industry, ice cream industries, sweet industries, for general public use milk. So if the price of the milk falls, the demand is increased on various segments. The people who produce curd, who produce ice cream, who produce paneer, who produce cheese. So that demand will have an effect on it. That is why it is called goods which are used for several uses have got an elastic demand. Not durable goods. Durable goods have elastic demand, and then the level of prices also. If the level of price is very high, then generally it is consumed by the rich people. So the rich people demand is always relatively inelastic as compared to the poor people or middle class people. Because the rich people, they are not governed by price. They are governed by their taste, by their preference. Similarly, very low price goods and generally necessaries, hence a demand of inelastic nature. Now take the example of matchbox. It constitutes a very low budget of our income. So if the price of the matchbox increases of 1 to 2 rupees, it hardly matters for us. So very low price goods have got an inelastic demand because their price, even if it increases to a certain limit, which is affordable by us. So that is having an inelastic demand. Goods we are jointly demanded have less elasticity because they are demanded jointly. For example, ink and pen. If the price of the pen increases, then what happens? The demand for ink decreases because the demand for pen will decrease. So this is the complementary goods. Habit and custom also matters a lot. If there is a custom, you have to follow it. Even if the price, you see, in the marriages, there are custom of giving gold to the brides. So even if the gold prices is having a high fluctuations, people are going to purchase and give it to their daughters. So influence of habit and custom is also there. People who have got a custom or a habit of anything, they have got an inelastic demand because they have to do it, they are habituated to this. Importance of elasticity is there because by knowing the elasticity of any product, we are able to judge the demand also. If we treat necessity goods have its own inelasticity. Even the price determination is also able to, I mean, the producers or sellers are able to determine the price knowing the elasticity of demand. If the goods is inelastic, they can charge higher price. But if the good is having an elastic demand, they have to charge a lower price because they know at lower price they'll be able to sell more. And in relatively inelastic demand products, they can charge high price because they know the people are going to consume even if the price is increased. Even the price discrimination, that is charging different price to different consumers or different segments, I should say. They know that even if they sell at lower price in a inelastic market or elastic market, what will be its effect? So products having elastic demand may be sold at lower price, while those having inelastic demand may be sold at higher prices. So it depends on the market situation, in which market or which consumer they are targeting. If that market is having elastic demand, they'll have to be sold at lower price. While if they have inelastic demand, they can sell at higher prices also. The same product, because in the price discrimination, you are giving the goods and services, the same goods and services to different consumers at different price or different segments. The factors of production rewards are also decided by the elasticity of demand. Factors having inelastic demand are rewarded more than the factors that have relatively elastic demand. If there are huge amount of labor in the economy, they are going to have a elastic factors price. They'll even give lower wages to them and they'll be readily accepting that because it is having elastic demand. But if in the on the other hand, if the labor's number is very less, then it becomes inelastic demand. They will have to pay more to have those labors. The government policies of taxation is also based on the relatively elastic demand. We all know about the progressive taxation and regressive taxation. These are based on the elasticity of demand. Now the concept of income elasticity of demand. Till now, we have studied that price and demand is having inverse relationship. If the price increases, demand decreases. If the price decreases income, then demand also decreases. There is an inverse relationship between price and demand. But in income elasticity of demand, there is direct relationship between demand. You can see also from this graph that it is positive slope, direct relationship. As the income is increasing, quantity demanded is also being increasing. Income elasticity of demand, we all know that there is a direct relationship between income and demand, and income elasticity of demand is the ratio of percentage change in the quantity demanded to the percentage change in income. You can see also that income elasticity of demand is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded, percentage change in income. That means how much change a change in income is bringing to the quantity demanded. We all know as income increases, demand also increases. But many times it is not so also. We'll be coming in the coming slides. There are three types of income elasticity of demand: positive income elasticity of demand, negative income elasticity of demand, and zero income elasticity of demand. These three will be explained. First of all, the positive income elasticity of demand. This is a situation when demand for a product increases with increase in consumers' income and decreases with decrease in consumer income. This is a normal phenomena which we observe in ourselves also. And in this case, there is a positive slope. You can see that there is direct relationship. As the income is increasing, demand is also increasing. The second, negative income elasticity of demand. This is, I should say, exception. As we had read the exception to the price elasticity of demand, it is very much similar to the exception to the income elasticity of demand. We have studied that income and quantity demanded is having direct relationship, positive slope, but in this diagram you can see it is a negative slope, inverse relationship. That means if income is increasing, demand is decreasing. But why so? Why so behavior that my income is increasing but demand is decreasing? This is because of a concept called inferior goods. When our income increases, our standard of living also increases. Our taste and preference increase to a branded product. We leave the product which we were consuming previously. And the income increase and the process of leaving the product which we were consuming previously, this effect is called the inferior goods. For me now, that good is inferior. If we are consuming, suppose, any dairy products, local dairy products. Now, when the price is remaining the same, but my income has increased, so now I will go for Amul dairy products. So this is that local dairy product has become an inferior good for me, and I'm going for a branded product, branded dairy product, Amul, because it is known for its brand. So the local dairy product has become inferior goods for me. So with this, in this case, the income increases, the demand decreases. The third is zero income elasticity of demand. There is no change in demand due to change in income. And this is for necessity goods. Even if the income increase or decrease, the demand remains the same. That hardly matters to us, like salt or even medicine, we can say. Even my income increases or decreases, that doesn't matter. I have to consume that medicine, I will take. So in this case, there is no effect of increase in consumers' income on the demand, and the income elasticity to demand is zero. So concluding this income elasticity of demand, now we all know negative, positive, and zero. Negative are associated with inferior goods, positive are generally associated with luxury goods, and zero generally for very essential items, necessity goods. So these are the three types of income elasticity of demand. Importance in production planning and management, in forecasting demand, in classifying goods as normal and inferior, because we all know on the consumer's income basis, we can plan also and manage also, because we know income is a mode of consumption or mode of demand. If there is increase in income, we all know there will be increase in demand. But we have to know what is the elasticity of demand of that very product. If that product is having a positive income elasticity of demand, we can go for change in price, increasing price. But if it is inelastic, we are not going to bring much change in the price. Then forecasting demand also, when change in consumers' income is expected, we are able to forecast how much demand will increase when there is increase in income. Then classification of goods also in normal and inferior on the basis of income elasticity of demand, we are able to classify good as normal and inferior. Because we know with the increase of income, if the product is left out, if it is not consumed, if it is treated as a good which is not a very nice item for me or a very nice product for me, that becomes inferior for me because I switched on to a superior goods for a branded goods. So these are the importance of income elasticity of demand. And in the next session, we'll talk more about supply. We have very much talked about the demand in this particular session. So students, I'll ask you all to be connected with my series of microeconomics series. Stay connected, stay safe, and please study with all the series, link the series with yourselves, and have a nice day. Thank you.